Hello guys, and welcome back to another episode of That Pop Culture Pod. I am Juan Perez, and joining me today is the original vampire from the Sinners movie, Hunter Crate. How are you doing today, brother?
Oh, it's going pretty good. You know, just killing and drinking blood. No, not really. I wish I was that cool.
And getting jiggy in the middle of a parking lot.
Yeah, I actually liked him a lot. You know, he was not a good guy, but I thought he was pretty cool.
And also with us today is somebody else who's seen the movie Sinners with us, Jess. Judd, how are you doing today?
Michael B. Jordan's biggest fan.
I feel like we could have worked a little harder on my intro, but hey.
Well, it's so hard to not call you Jessica because you hate when I do it, so it always throws me.
Do you want to give him my Soch too? You just said my first and
No, I
last
put that
name,
in the
it's
last
cool.
episode you were in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's in there.
38324. I'm just kidding.
No, so we all seen the movie Sinners, so at the end of the episode, we are going to probably be doing like a spoiler aspect. You know, we'll be talking about the movie, what we liked, what we didn't like. We'll be going more in-depth with it. So we will let you guys know when we end the regular podcast, like usual, and then we'll start that portion. So if you want to listen to that, you can. If you've seen it, you can. But if you haven't and you don't want to get anything spoiled, we'll make sure that we have like a hard stop so you guys know to turn it off. But I will say that the guy that was getting jiggy in the parking lot was probably my favorite too. They'd have TikTok.
We're not.
Oh my god, okay. Well, what else have you guys been up to?
Irish jig. Oh, yesterday I went to the Critchlow Alligator Sanctuary in Athens, Michigan, and that was freaking awesome. I was there for like 4 hours. We got like a big guided tour. They have over 100 alligators.
Where is Athens? I don't think I've ever heard of it.
It's like 15 minutes south of Battle Creek.
Oh, okay. So it's not particularly far from their like zoo, because I've gone to their like wildlife sanctuary zoo and I fucking loved it.
Yeah, this one is privately owned. Yeah, it's like owned by a family that does it, and all of the animals there were either like surrendered or rescued or whatnot. They were not purchased, you know, or they were given to them by like zoological institutes who couldn't care for them anymore and stuff like that. But it was very awesome. I highly recommend it. They also had a lot of tortoises and turtles, and a bunch of other assorted reptiles, but the alligators were definitely the main show. Nice, so I got to feed some alligators, feed some tortoises.
Ooh, very cool.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about alligators. They're a little too dinosaur.
I'm a big fan.
Them and
I'm
snakes.
alligator's biggest fan.
Well, that's nice. I'm gonna have to
Avery
cut
is
that.
not.
She has no chill.
Avery is not.
The sun's out, and so she thinks that everyone's an enemy.
She heard alligator
Oh,
and
yeah,
she was not vibing.
Yeah, Zoe is the same way. Rex is too. I'm not just singling out Zoe, but she likes to climb up in the window and like she'll move the curtains out of the way with her nose so she can yell at people out the front window.
Yeah.
And it's like, girl.
The window by where like our dining table is and our microwave and stuff, it lines up perfectly with our neighbor's front porch. So she will sit in the window, and the poor guy's just trying to get some fresh air, and she's in his space screaming.
Yeah, my next door to us, they are neighbors who are very nice. I like them, but they run a daycare, and Rex is like, it's on site with every kid that walks out the door.
I mean, I kind of get
Rex.
that.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, understandable, but yeah. So it's like I'm sitting out on the porch reading a book or whatever, and then Rex is sitting out there chilling. Child, it's on site. He's freaking running, jumping at the freaking railing on the porch or whatever. It's just like, dude, you're freaking 6 inches tall. Chill out.
6 inches tall for real.
He's a short king for sure.
background info,
true.
me and Hunter are supposed to go on a date to go see episode 3. That's being re-released. But the reason I bring that up is related to what you guys are talking about. Is they were some guy was watching it with his buddies over the weekend, and when Anakin pulls up and murders all those kids, all the people in the fucking theater started cheering.
Oh my
Like when they're like, "Mr.
Oh,
Skywalker, what are we
shit.
supposed to do?" When the lightsaber comes out, everybody in there starts throwing popcorn and they're
my God.
cheering. Did I send you that video, Hunter?
No, you didn't. That's their
yeah.
chicken jockey moment.
Oh yeah, well that's what I planned on doing when we were going anyway. So I mean, you know, it works out.
That's fair.
I will be staying home that day.
Well, you already said you didn't want to go see it anyways.
What day are you guys going?
Hopefully this weekend if he loves me, but if he doesn't love me, then not this weekend.
Oh yeah, I got my dress.
I do love you. I will. I'm figuring that out right now because I'm figuring out what days to come. I think I will be able to have my car ready for then. It's just my battery's been poopy,
Mine too.
but
Mine too, dude.
I think it's the weather changes. 30 degrees, 80
Seasonal
degrees,
allergies,
40 degrees.
The car sneezing.
Yeah, for real. My Tahoe sneezes, throws everything out.
My
Fucking
I got my car in 2021 at the beginning of it. I think somewhere around March because it was still kind of cold when I got my car. And I have not put a battery in since I bought it. And I've never had a car with a battery that lasted this long. So I knew at some point I was going to need a new one. I just didn't particularly want to get a new battery for a car that's kind of on its last legs. You know what I mean?
yeah, for sure.
But Jess was telling me that if you go to the U-Pull in Pontiac, I guess that they have really cheap batteries. But I don't know.
Nice. Yeah, batteries are at least typically not as expensive as other parts can be, but
$200 for mine.
It's like brand new.
yeah,
Yeah, that's if you get a brand new one. Yeah, that one will last like 6 years maybe. But it's like super annoying because I just put $200, $300 in, and I spent an entire weekend working on my car. It's like I did not want to start putting money into it again already.
yeah, I get you.
So
I'm kind of in
annoying.
the same spot where I'm trying to decide if I want to put more money into my car or if I want to start looking into maybe getting a new one, but I really don't want to have a car payment.
That's where I'm at. I really don't want to either, but I want to get another one of my cars just better taken care of because one of my car was totaled before I bought it and then they rebuilt it. So it's like not the most amazing on the driver's side. And I want to get like just another car like mine. I mean, I didn't have any problems with it basically for like almost 100,000 miles. So I want to get another one, take care of it better, especially because I work closer to my house now. So it's like it would last longer and I wanted it to, just want to try to take care of it better now that we live in a place where we have like an actual driveway to work on cars. Because before that, we only had like a parking lot at our apartment.
Yeah.
So
Right.
sorry about that. So I want when I do get a new car, but also the problem that I'm grappling with is after we get married, we might consider moving, and if we move out of state, then I don't really want to have a car for that. Like it's already going to be hard enough to travel, like to move one car out of state. I don't want to have to move two. You know what I mean? It sounds like a pain in the ass.
Yeah, definitely.
That's if we do though.
Yeah.
Preferably we would though.
Cars suck sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And I have not been motivated to work on mine like at all because I literally live a half mile from where I work now, so I just walk to work every day anyway, especially in the nice weather.
Yeah, it's like almost refreshing right now.
Yeah,
If I-
so I'm just like, it's not been the most urgent thing, but now I'm like, fuck, I gotta get this figured out before this weekend. 'Cause it's the reason I gotta figure stuff out is it's my mom's birthday and my older brother's birthday coming up, and then so this will be the weekend I visit for that, and then I also want to see the movie with you. So I'm trying to figure out what days are best for me to come out and what the plan is, basically.
Well, as long as you can fit in like the 2 hours for us to watch the movie, I mean, I can just show up whenever. If you didn't want to stay at our house for a day or whatever, but if you just wanted to go over and stay over there, then like I said, anytime you have a few minutes, we could just pop over, watch the movie, talk for a little bit after, and then you can go and do what you need to do. It's just so hard
Yeah, we
because
will-
you like have to drive all the way over here to do family stuff already. It's like so frustrating to have to fit other stuff in. Even if it's obviously something we both want to do, I understand how fucking hard it is to do that.
Yeah, it's also hard because when I come out, like, I want to see as many people as I can, but it's just like I always am coming out for some event that my family is doing, or like there's a lot of birthdays this time of year and stuff, and it's like, yeah, it's hard to get everything fit in that I want to, but we will see the movie for sure. I will figure it out.
Yeah, because I didn't know you had to come out for your mom's birthday, which I'll have to tell happy birthday. But I didn't know if you were busy because when I was talking to you over the weekend, I was basically saying, like, if you wanted, I could always just come to Ann Arbor. We could meet in the middle. We could watch it, hang out, grab lunch or whatever. But yeah, if you have to come out here for family stuff, then, I mean, we might just not be able to do it, you know. But also, during
we'll
a
make it-
weekday
we'll
that
make
you have
it
a day
work.
off, I can always just leave work and then meet you halfway if we had to.
Yeah, we will make it work. I think this weekend will work. I just mostly about figuring out what days are happening because this is my 3-day weekend for work.
Oh, okay.
So that helps a lot. So I'm just figuring out like if I want to come out Friday or Saturday, basically, as long as my car is cooperating.
That's the challenge, though, right?
Yeah, I think we'll get there.
So, since we're talking about Star Wars, I want to talk about something. So, as you guys know, have been listening and paying attention. I've been watching Star Wars Rebels, and I haven't been particularly enjoying it that much. But I don't know what changed. They kind of like moved the plot around, and it's a little bit more like there was like a time skip. So everybody's like just older, and I guess maybe more mature, you know, facing different personal battles for the story and whatnot. But they've added Admiral Thrawn, you know, the blue guy. I don't know if you've ever seen him, but he's a blue guy with red eyes. And then Darth Maul has been making occasional appearances. So the stories have just gotten so much more interesting, dude. I've been watching it. I've actually been loving it. I started Fairy Tale now that I'm done with Dr. Stone. And I actually like took a pause on my anime so that I could watch Rebels because it's getting so freaking good. And I'm getting close to the end. I think I only have 20 episodes left of the whole show, so I kind of just want to knock it out, especially with Andor coming out soon. I want to, you know, get moving on to the next thing, but if I was ever going to recommend it to you, Hunter, I definitely would recommend it more now than in the past because it is getting really, really good, dude.
Yeah, I'm thinking probably either May or June. I'm gonna get Disney Plus and watch all the Star Wars stuff to catch up, basically.
Okay, yeah.
So I'll be binging a lot of Star Wars. So I just have not gotten Disney Plus to catch up on a lot of it yet.
Right, I get that. And also, it
But
would work out because when you were watching the movies, if you did it chronologically, you could probably skip the heartbreak of 3 if we're going to see it, and then a month later, you're going to go through the whole storyline anyways.
Yeah, true.
Because it's just
True.
it's so hard to watch it. Because it's like you always want Anakin to just not go. Maybe this time he won't go to the dark side,
Yeah, this will be the time.
but he always does. Every
No, I want him to go to the dark side every time. I think he earned it.
He earned it. What's
I
that?
think he worked hard to become Darth Vader.
What were you going to say, babe?
I saw a TikTok that said apparently you can find Anakin's like stone body outside of the lava pit in Oblivion.
Really?
I heard. I don't play Oblivion, so I don't know.
All right, let's do some fact checking.
But I heard that's like a little Easter egg they threw in.
Well, if she's going to talk about Oblivion, too, I mean, I have some things to say about that. Anakin.
I know what you're talking about, Jess. There's like a charred body on the lava bank. I saw the
Yes.
same or similar video. For sure. I don't really particularly care if it is Anakin or not. I've already decided it is. I've decided it is the truth that is Anakin.
That's kind of the route that I was taking too.
It
It's
looks
missing
like it.
hands.
Yeah. He's got one hand.
Yeah.
And the legs are in the lava and the other arm's gone. Yeah, dude. I'm pretty sure that's probably the point that they're like. That's probably what they're
Yeah.
trying to do.
I think it's Lieutenant Dan.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Doesn't he have both his hands? No, he's missing.
He's missing his legs.
Hand to hand, I think, right?
No, he's got his hands.
Okay, I just.
Because that's how he's beating up the prostitute at the bar.
Oh, yep. Right. I thought there was a hook in there somewhere.
There was a hook.
Sure.
God. Oh, you beat me to it. Dang it.
God.
What?
This is true love here, folks.
Oh my God, dude.
Fighting over who gets to make the hooker joke.
Well, usually we fight about who gets to beat the hooker, but I guess at least we can make
That's
the joke.
crazy to say live.
On GTA, they're talking about, of course.
So stupid. Okay, so Avery is licking Jess's mic currently.
A liquor.
Avery is our new guest star on the podcast. Hi, Avery. How are you doing today?
She's a staring like, who the hell are you talking? Oh, now she's howling. Oh, there it is.
She's telling. Oh, it sounds like she's having a bad day.
Because she wants to go outside, but every
Avery.
time I let her outside, she just sits out there and screams.
Oh, she's just like me.
Ooh. Well, at least we know the fans of the podcast don't hate when she does that. They were talking about it. It's like, oh, you should have Avery in the podcast more.
Oh yeah, sure she was.
Well, that bark is still getting cut early because that was ignorant. That was ignorant.
We're keeping it. We're keeping it.
I'm not keeping it. Oh, I guess I could compress
Avery
it.
cast. The Avery cast.
Okay, so we were talking about Oblivion. So last week, me and Hunter were right, and they did announce it. I literally bought it when I got home, and I downloaded it before we went and saw Sinners, and we made our cat character together before we went and seen the movie. So I got back and I played until midnight, and I played basically till midnight every single, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Saturday we were busy. I got to play during the day, but I was too tired by the time we got home. And then Sunday I tried to play as much as I could, but we had to go do some wedding stuff with my dad. I got some new boots. So I got to play more in the afternoon than I did, during the day. But the remake is finally out, and I already have like 30-something hours into it. And I'm going to be honest with you, dude, I haven't really done a whole lot. Like, I'm level, I think, 24. I have all those hours in. A lot of what I've been doing, because the game is so insanely beautiful. You said you were, like, watching some of it or, like, looking at it, and you were liking how it looked. Yeah. So the game, like, I rushed the very beginning stuff because I've done it so many times. And like we were talking about on the past few podcasts, I've already been playing old Oblivion. So I kind of rushed, like, some of the beginning stuff, like most of the arena, just some of the beginning quests that you just run into when you're in the first areas. But after that, I was telling Jess, like, I don't know, maybe Wednesday night, I was like, I've been literally rushing through a lot of this, and I haven't just been taking in how beautiful this game is. Like, it is just so insanely beautiful. And I feel like it really does capture, like, what the original one looks like if you kind of compare them. Like, it just looks like what I thought it looked like when we were kids.
I know exactly what you mean, too.
Yeah,
There's a lot of games I go back and I do not remember them looking the way they do.
Yeah.
Like trash.
Yeah.
Looks like I drew all of the characters. And then the new version is like what it was supposed to look like.
Yeah. It's like what it looked like in your head before you started drawing
Or like
it.
a before and after of drugs kind of thing.
Drugs. Skooma. Oh my god. But yeah, that's kind of like, because that's how I feel like when I was, because like I loved Spyro growing up, because I always knew Crash Bandicoot looked like Dookie. But like I played Spyro growing up, and going back and seeing how it looks now, it looks so bad. And like since I've been playing my original Xbox more the last few years, I'm playing some of these older games. I'm like, Jesus, I don't remember these being so ugly. But then this game comes out, and it's like what a remaster should be. Like the Halo 2 and Halo 1 remasters. Like, it literally looks exactly how I thought it looked when I was younger. And that's what this game's been doing for me. So a lot of what I've been doing the last few days is I've just been exploring every inch of the map and getting all of the main things that you can discover, like all the main points of interest. I've been discovering those, killing enemies, getting loot, getting money. Like, I had $75,000 before I started buying a bunch of spells yesterday. And I've honestly been having a lot of fun just doing that. Like, Ethan was telling me that he's done 2 quest lines, but like in between the quest lines, he's just been exploring, just going around and finding dungeons and running dungeons. And he's like probably almost 30 hours into, and he says he hasn't even touched the main storyline. I haven't either. I just like playing a game where you don't feel like you want to rush through everything. You can just kind of walk around and be so happy and content doing what you're doing in the game. Obviously, for people who aren't into role-playing games, because I know you are, Hunter. people who aren't, they
Yeah.
might not get that vibe as much. But like when you're into that, like a world, like The Witcher, I like to walk around in The Witcher, like in the cities and stuff. Like when you're into a game like that and you just get happy walking around and interacting with the dummies in the world, that's literally like one of the best experiences ever. And the fact that it was $50, like, come on, what a steal! I love it so much, dude. I cannot wait for you to be able to play it.
Yeah, I'm working on figuring that out. I had the desire to spend most of my tax return on yard stuff, but now I kind of want to upgrade my PC or get an Xbox. But I also know the second I buy the Xbox, they're going to be like, guess what's coming out?
That would be so messed up.
Portable Xbox with removable remotes. Just kidding.
All the games are $80.
Yeah. Only 80? No. It's got a better processor. They're going to charge 120.
Shit, that's what Nintendo will be doing. After when you and me were talking about all of the freaking pre-orders selling out, dude, they're gonna up the price. I know they already will. Especially with all of the inflation stuff. Oh my god.
I think they're gonna make it cheaper. Just kidding.
Yeah, maybe in like 5 years. But yeah,
I'm not rushing to get one yet.
No, me either. I mean, until a game really comes out that Jess really wants, I'm not. Well, let's be honest here, dude. The scalpers are gonna make it impossible to get one. Honestly, like the people who are doing it authentic. What's that?
I was just saying, I'm kind of assuming it's gonna be similar to how the COVID release was with the Xbox and the PlayStation.
I agree.
Where like they're just super hard to get, and especially this is even worse because it's just the Switch 2 coming out. Like, there's not another console competing with it being released at the same time that you could get alternatively.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about it like that. Yeah, it's going to be even harder. And it's like Nintendo will always drop, like, a new system, and then it will just not be on the shelf for 6 months. Like, they just can never make enough anytime they do it.
Yeah, they already said that they underestimated demand somehow.
How? How?
Yeah. I don't know. I did call that this is going to be like selling out probably the biggest Nintendo console of all time, and I think it is already on pace to be, so based on the release.
God, that's so
and it's not even out yet.
So
yeah, I will probably get one eventually. But yeah. Kirby Air Ride makes it tough. I really want to get it. But like if they announce a new Smash Bros, I will probably take it on the chin.
Just take my money. I don't care. Just take my money.
Yeah. I didn't need all these kidneys.
You have one too many.
Yeah. I could do without.
Honestly.
Combo, get a new Switch, and lose some weight. Fucking crazy work.
You fucking believe the audacity of this man. I really do want one. I was so excited for it, dude, but it's just like, it's so expensive. Like I was telling you before, if I wouldn't spend that much money on an Xbox or a PlayStation, I'm not gonna. Well, I did do it for an Xbox, I guess, but it's like I'm not gonna do it for a Switch. And then with like I said, I mean, everybody who's authentically buying it, like they're not gonna be reselling it at all. So any of the reselling that you're gonna see right away, it's just gonna be marked up by fucking like. I think you might have sent me a picture already of people on eBay putting up their pre-sale, and it's like $800.
Yeah. We'll see, though, because, maybe they still have time before it releases to pump up the, how many they're making,
Mm-hmm.
So maybe it will come together, but I'm pretty skeptical. I think the tariffs, if anything, will make it harder to get and not just more expensive. Because I already saw, they were talking about the number of container ships that are coming from Asia in general is decreasing dramatically in response to the tariffs, just because people aren't going to be able to afford these things, and they're already kind of adjusting for the lower demand by ordering less. Yeah, it looks like on eBay they're scalping for like $674, $650, $700.
Oh my god, dude.
Yeah, scalpers are in everything.
Literally everything.
Even like kind of more obscure stuff, like the in Warhammer, like when they release the rule books for specific armies or whatever, they have like a limited edition version, and the scalping has gotten so bad for that it literally sold out completely in 2 minutes. And now they're already being listed for like 4 times as much on eBay and all the reselling platforms. And it's just a rule book that's only going to be good for 3 or 4 years, and like it's another thing that they're scalping all the limited edition versions of like instantly, and it's like Magic is really bad about it now too, with the secret layers they release or like a timed release thing or whatever, so you have to get in like a queue or whatever, and they like like I tried to order one and it gave me an 8-hour queue time on my computer to get to order one, and I just said I don't want to spend $40 on this anymore, and then I didn't buy it.
The problem is,
Like-
is somebody would though, so that's why it is the way it is. Somebody will spend that entry level dollar amount for it.
To me, it's just the time. Like, I don't want to wait in a freaking. Why can't I just like give you my money and you just tell me I will get it eventually?
Yeah, literally. It doesn't
Like,
matter
I
when.
literally don't care if it comes in 3 months. Just let me give you my money and have some peace of mind. I don't want to wait in an online queue to maybe get something. Like, if I waited 8 hours and couldn't get it, I would be pretty mad. Pretty
it
mad.
would be dangerous.
Yeah.
Oh my god, dude. I don't even understand any of that.
Yeah, I'm circling back though. I really want to play Oblivion. I've been a little bit. My update is I've been a little bit frustrated because it's just out of reach of my PC. Basically, like I need just slightly better graphics card and a slightly higher amount of RAM. So it's just like I'd have to upgrade 2 things.
Is that expensive?
It would be moderately expensive. It'd be less than buying a new Xbox, but not that much less. Because, like, if I'm gonna upgrade, I'm not gonna just upgrade a small difference. I'd rather just get, spend the money and get one that I'm not gonna have to turn around and upgrade in another 6 months or whatever.
Right, exactly. Yeah, because games are just gonna get harder and harder on PCs.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's getting to about that time where there's been more and more games I can't play on my PC again. So I'm gonna have to probably upgrade, but I'll probably just upgrade some parts, and not buy a whole new PC or anything crazy. But
right.
It's tough because I would like to get a new Xbox, but I enjoy my PC a lot. That I can do a lot of different stuff on it.
Yeah, and I mean, let's be honest. Probably most of the games you would play on your Xbox, you could probably just play on your PC anyways.
Yeah, so I will probably be upgrading my PC and not getting a new Xbox, though I am kind of tempted, but
yeah,
we'll see. I could change my mind about this.
True.
When
I mean, you got
give me
time.
my money.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I wanted to call out Ryan because Ryan was texting us last week when Oblivion came out. And it was like the 5th game in a row that he was like, yeah, my PC just can't handle playing it. And I'm like, dude, I think your PC might be the problem. He's like, no, it's the game. And it's like, yeah, but like 8 games in a row? I'm pretty sure your PC is the one that isn't able to handle playing any of these games.
He did send an update in our group chat today about this and said that the game was trying to set the graphics to 4K, and now it runs fine.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Well, I still called him out anyways. I'm going to cut out your rebuttal for him and then just leave in my my attack.
That's smart. And then you're just gonna crop the video, so just you say that part, and then you just crop it to me being that's smart.
Yes, I need to think about that. Oh, that's in now.
Unedited version. I'll send the unedited version to Ryan.
Dude, we got a plan here. And then he's just gonna text me like, "You fucking idiot! That is not what I was saying at all."
Oh, I do have. If there's more you want to say about Oblivion too, you can feel free.
Nope, I'm good. What's up?
Okay, I was gonna say I actually just got a long HDMI cable to plug in from my monitor or from my my tower to the TV. So Bailey and I are going to begin a playthrough of Baldur's Gate because she's been really wanting to, but it's not. My screen's not that big where it's gonna be fun to play it on co-op. So we're gonna play it on the TV with my computer. So that's exciting. We'll be playing that. She's been wanting to play it for a while.
Yeah, I feel like that would be something that maybe Jess would be into, but I'm trying to convince her because we were playing all of those 2-player games, but she started reading a book series, and that's all she has done. So
I'm
we've literally stopped playing games
I'm
together.
obsessed with it.
What book series?
Here we go. So, sorry, I'm also putting my hair up because it's a big book. I was recommended it by a friend. Typically, I range towards the romance, smutty vibes, so that's where we are.
That is crazy because I was about to say, is it Hentai Hero 2?
No. I would say this is pretty tame compared to the normal stuff that I read from like H.D. Carlton, etc. But it's A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. I read the first one, the second one, and I'm currently almost halfway through the third. It's a 5-book series. She's currently writing the 6th one. Oh, they're so good.
She literally read the first book in
Less than a day?
I'd say just over a day. Like she started it in the afternoon, and then it was done the next night, like late at night.
Mm-hmm. The second book is bigger, and it took me 2 days to read that one. The third one is the biggest one, I think, aside from the 5th one. I'm making good time.
Yeah, when she got her, because I got her the rest of the books, because she got the first 2, and then I got the other 3. And then when they came, I was like, oh, God, the 4th one's kind of small. And she's like, yeah. Well, you know. And I'm like, well, I think it's a novella. And she's like, it's not a fucking novella.
I don't
It's
know
not a
why,
novella.
but that word just doesn't make sense to me. I don't know what it is. I'm like, you made it up. It's not something that actually exists. You're trying to sound like edgy. But then I looked it up, and she's like, yep, so the 4th book's a novella.
I was in the other room, and I was like, I told you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always very nice when you find a book series with or obviously a book series with multiple books, but a book series that has enough books to like keep you occupied that you're excited to get to the next one is like probably one of my favorite feelings. Is like you just get to be excited to read, then like get the updates and everything, and you have enough backup where you get to just kind of binge through it.
Yeah.
It's like when you find a TV show that's got like 5 seasons that's really awesome.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
And it's more of like a romantasy. It's like fantasy and then like romance. There's not as much smut in. Don't get me wrong. There's like scenes where it's a little dicey, but yeah, it's good. Really like it.
It is we have it at our. I looked up the book because I'm familiar with the cover. I haven't read it. Don't judge a book by its cover, guys. But I just did.
I'm convincing Juan to read it because it's like really good. Aside, I know he won't enjoy the smutty parts, but the rest of it, it's actually a really good story.
Yeah, when I'm done with
enjoy
Stormlight,
it.
I have 1 book left in Stormlight. When I'm done with that, I'm going to start it.
Yeah, that one is actually one of the higher circulating books, that series in our library.
Yeah.
I wonder why.
Yeah, also, if you're familiar with Libby, is like the online library collection that you can use your library card to sign up for or whatever. And every copy of it is out, which is in total audiobook and ebook 68 copies, and 0 are available online. So it seems like it's pretty popular.
Yeah, it's very good.
Yeah.
My whole thing is though I read so fast when I'm into it, and I'm trying to slow down because the 6th one isn't due to come out until like around September-ish, and that's if. I think the author said that she's aiming for like late 2025, early 2026, but at the rate I'm going to have them done before the middle of May.
Yeah, probably. I would say so.
And I can't wait. Because what if she leaves it on a cliffhanger? I don't do good with cliffhangers. That's why I don't watch a show until it's like, okay, we're done making it. It's done. There's nothing else that we can add to it. It's over, and then I'll watch it.
It's really hard to start a book series that's not done or at the point where they want to take a break. Like Stormlight, he did 5 books, and he's going to do 5 more. So it's like these 5 books are going to be a semi-complete story, and then obviously it'll finish in the next 5, but it's like a semi-complete, like you can read these, and you'll feel semi-satisfied. I hate starting something that's not. Like, I don't want to wait at all. Like, Game of Thrones is like, we're never going to get another one of those books, so now it's just going to be an unfinished series. And that's so annoying.
With that being said, I really wish they would make it into a TV show. And I've done my research on it. I guess they were starting to, and then COVID hit, and they scrapped all the script for it. And now they're not even, like, talking about it anymore.
That's tough.
Or, like,
yeah.
sucks to suck.
Yeah, I'm super bummed.
If you, from, not because I've read the books that you're reading, but because I'm looking at the synopsis for it, you might like the series that starts with Fourth Wing. It's a kind of a similar
Okay.
romantic fantasy novel series that is very popular at my work, and it seems like it's similar, but it's you might like it. I think there's 4 books with a 5th one coming out, or there's 3 books with the 4th one coming out, or something.
Do you have the author?
The author is Rebecca Yarros, Yarros.
It's funny. I think she was just recommended to me today by a coworker.
Oh, really?
Yeah, not even kidding.
Maybe this will be helpful for our audience as well. Are you familiar with fantastic fiction?
No.
I am not.
Okay, so it's a website that you can go to, and it compiles every fiction book, and you can search by author, book, series, whatever, and you can pick a book series, and then you can find it, and it will recommend you books that other people who read that series liked.
Yeah.
And it also is a way so you can track all of the books from one author or something like that.
Is that kind of like Goodreads?
It's kind of like that, yeah.
Okay.
So for example, I can plug in Court of Thorns and Roses, and it will shows me all of the books from Sarah J. Maas, and it compiles like it tells you like obviously the genre and the regular stuff like that or whatever, but you can find where the book is available, average price it's selling for, the breakdown of it, but you can also find other books that are recommended in the same genre or from the same author, etc.
Yeah, because you do like fantasy a little bit more, I would say. Like that's a little bit more up your alley.
Me?
Yeah.
Well, and that's why I like this book so much. 'Cause it's not just, smut. There's enough of it in there to keep me interested, but it's also very much fantasy and, like elven type of vibes. And I love it so much.
Very.
So, like for example, you like this series, The Court of Thorns and Roses. If you go to her author page, she actually has 2 other series that came out before this that seem like they're both pretty successful. The one is Throne of Glass, and the other one is
Yes, those are on my reading
Crescent
list.
City. Yep. Yeah, so it's a cool thing to check out. Like it's free. It doesn't.
What was the
it's
name
not
of it again?
Any money or whatever. It's called Fantastic Fiction.
Fantastic.
It's a really it's a really good way to find books from authors you like, especially like sometimes Google just bombards you with the newest search result or whatever is advertised or whatever, so it gets hard to find stuff. But so I definitely recommend Fantastic Fiction. It's a really good if you like reading fiction books. It's got a good breakdown of all the genres, and it's a really cool way to find kind of exactly what you're looking for. I actually found a book that I didn't even know that one of my favorite authors, Roger Zelazny, wrote, and that was how I found Lord of Light.
I'll definitely look into it.
I'll have to
Yeah,
look
it's pretty
into
cool.
it too. Try to find still more Game of Thrones style stuff.
Yeah. Well, the short version, check out Fantastic Fiction. Jess, you might like the Fourth Wing series.
Okay. I wrote it down.
Okay.
Oh, yeah,
Very
ready
cool.
to go.
To my long reading list.
Yeah, I'm not going to
Yeah,
buy any more physical books until I get through the ones that I have planned up right now.
I can't do Audible. I don't know why.
That's why I said physical. Like
Yeah,
I got physical books.
I
I
have
need
to
cut through.
have the physical copy of it.
Yeah. Everybody's different. I just have more time for physical, so then I can experience more media at once.
Because like the Harry Potter ones, I listened on Audible, but I feel like it didn't hold my attention like it would if I had it in my hands.
I think depending on what you're doing too, you work a little bit more hands-on job than I do.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah,
easily distracted at work.
Yeah.
I think that audiobooks are a really good way to get more books in, but I think if you want to go for maximum quality, it's hard to match reading a book.
Yeah.
But it's just like a lot of books, we live in a busy world and there's a lot of things competing for attention
Yeah, that's my
all at
problem.
once. So it's just like it's audible books and just audiobooks in general are very nice for kind of like when you need to do 2 different things at once. Like I like them a lot when I'm driving.
Yeah.
Is really nice. Like when I'm going back and forth from Waterford, I always have whatever audiobook I'm listening to. But
Yeah, that's
It's
sort
hard
of
to
like my
hard to
problem.
compete.
Is like when I'm at home, I just don't really have a whole lot of time to read, or I got to give up anything else I want to do to relax. So I do it at work, where I have 10 hours where I have literally nothing to do but stare at the road.
Right.
Yeah, I shut out the world when I wait till I get home for the most part.
Yeah, literally, you really do too. But okay, so we're getting up on time. Do you want to do our one question and then we can move on to our spoiler part of the podcast?
Yeah, I had one more thing I actually wanted to talk about
What's that?
before we hop to that. I will send you the link to it, and I can post it in the YouTube video as well. There's a game that they just released like a gameplay reveal trailer for it. It's called Hunger. And it looks very cool. I just wanted to kind of give it a quick shout out. It's like an extraction shooter game, but it's set in like medieval times during the plague. But the plague like mutates people into like zombies and monsters and stuff. So it's like another kind of game, like how Elden Ring, like you drop the new Elden Ring game, Night Rain, you drop in, you loot or whatever, but you get to keep the stuff you're leaving with.
Oh, okay.
Or if you die, you lose all your gear. So it's like Escape from Tarkov or some of the games like that. But it's looks very cool because the setting is very grimdark fantasy setting with like a lot of mutants and monsters, but you're using swords and spears and flintlock weapons to be fighting them. So it looks like it could be really cool. The graphics look pretty insane for it. But I just wanted to give it a quick shout out, and I sent you the trailer for you to watch, and I'll post it in the YouTube video for everyone to check out. I'll talk about it more. It's just called Hunger. Yeah, I posted the video in our Discord too.
Okay.
But definitely worth checking out for everyone. I will update more as stuff comes out because this is one I will definitely be getting when it comes out.
Yeah, I'll look
At some
into it
point.
because that sounds like something I'd probably be interested in as well.
Yeah, and it will be multiplayer, so that will be cool.
Do you want to do that question now?
Yeah, so we just had one question I wanted to hit, which was Farah asking, do you think realism games will ruin future games? And I think this was kind of about when we're talking about like the focus on making graphics perfect and closer to real life instead of being like stylized and the amount of space it takes on a game to make it look very good. I don't think realism will ruin games, but I think it definitely sometimes hinders the market for games in the way that like it kind of forces you into a certain type of game to make it super realistic. You know, whereas like a lot of very popular titles don't really care about realism at all.
I like
the
realism aspect of it.
I think it's.
I think
it definitely depends on the gamer. Some people are really into it. Some people are really not. I think I've already said that I'm not. It can really take me away from it because it's like I don't want to have to worry about. I already have to worry about shaving, eating, showering, wiping my ass. I don't want to have to do it in the video game too.
I'm a Sims player. So I'm so sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, you can go.
I'm a Sims player, so I love it.
Yeah, you do. Yeah,
like,
that's true.
let me wash myself real quick. Hang on one second. I'll fight this boss. I just got to use the bathroom and shower.
Kate, you gotta go in there stunting.
I don't mind that kind of stuff when it's that kind of game, you know. But like, I guess I think took the question differently. I was thinking about like how graphics, like how focused on graphics people are in realism in that aspect, which I think this could be interpreted either way for sure. As to like realistic with like what we're talking about with Kingdom Come, with having to shave and shower and everything or whatnot. That's not my favorite because I kind of agree with Juan. That's like not why I'm there. But if it's a game where that's kind of what you do, that's fine. Like I've played a lot of Sims and I like the Sims for what it is.
Right.
But it depends on the game. You know, I don't want that in every game.
Exactly.
I don't want to be in the Halo story and have to take off my power armor to poop. Personally.
No, that's my favorite part of Halo. I guess we're playing two different titles.
That's why I'm there.
Yeah.
The flood? No. I'm here to make sure my boy doesn't die of natural causes. Too early.
Chief, what are you doing? Giving the Covenant my dookie.
Exactly. It's
Holy.
story building at that point. Like, it adds depth.
Jesus.
But in terms of graphics,
Actually,
do you mean like it looks like clearer?
Well, just like how focused people are on making new games look as close to real life as possible.
I mean, I
You know,
like it.
instead of like going for like stylized graphics. Like
I think
like
it's a
an
give and a
example
take.
is yeah, for sure. Like kind of like Red Dead Redemption versus like Nintendo games, you know, or like indie games. You know, like if you're going for a specific graphic style or artistic expression versus if you're just trying to make it look as good as possible, as realistic as possible. I definitely think there is some give and take there. And I guess the one thing I don't like is how people judge so many games off of the graphics when some of the best games you'll ever play have terrible graphics or aren't even 3D. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it really just depends on like the actual game itself. Like I think games that want to go for that more realistic, like Kingdom Come is one where it's like all the people are modeled after real people. Um GTA tends to have like more, like Rockstar games tend to have more realistic looking graphics. All that stuff doesn't really matter. The point is like what are they trying to convey? Because like a game doesn't need to look incredible. I think the only thing that they need to really keep up on is the way that it runs. Like consistent frame rates, nice colorings, if that's a part of the thing. Like just making sure things are consistent is more important than ever like how high fidelity it is, because Cyberpunk is one where it's like crazy high fidelity and great frame rate. But like it didn't need to look like that. You know what I mean? Like it's just whatever the point that you're trying to get across, as long as you do that the way that you want to, I think that's all that really matters.
Yeah, definitely.
I feel like with that specific game, though, because it's so... I mean, it seems... I've never played the game, but it seems like futuristic. It kind of added to that.
Yeah, but Halo's futuristic and it doesn't need to particularly have. It's way more dull.
But it could.
Yeah, it could. You're
like,
right.
imagine if they did make it super, like, realistic.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, that's kind of, you're kind of leaning into my point, though. It's like, as long as that is the literal point that artist wants to make, that's perfectly fine. It doesn't need to be realistic. It doesn't need to not be. But I do think at this point in this day and age, it needs to run consistently on every platform you put it out on. That's the only thing I think that should be required. If you're not doing that, and a lot of game developers have not the last few years, that's what ruins games, is putting out a game that's literally not playable. That's the only thing that doesn't matter.
Your crossplay feature should work.
Yeah.
Should.
That's a very common thing I've been running into is like games like we have crossplay now and it does not work.
Yeah,
the Baldur's Gate crossplay has been mostly working. Like it's been pretty good overall. It's been having some issues, but it just got rolled out, so I'm willing to forgive them because they tend to fix everything that is bad about their game at any point. Like they're constantly polishing it. So I trust that they're gonna fix it, but I'm thinking like Borderlands 3, the crossplay just like has never worked optimally. Like it's always had issues the entire time it's existed, and it's like you're advertising, oh look we have crossplay, but it's like it never really works.
Yeah,
and that sucks.
At least Baldur's Gate actually stuck to it. It took them 2 years, but at least they finally actually came out with it. There are a lot of people that are like, hey, we're gonna put this out, Halo. Hey, we're gonna put out this, and then it just never comes. And they're like, oh yeah, by the way, that's not ever coming out. It's like, well, why did you even bring it up?
Yeah.
Just don't talk about it until you're doing it. Like, unless like, hey, by the way, we're gonna introduce crossplay. Just got to finish the final bugs, and then it'll be out. Like that. Just don't talk about it until it's gonna come out.
Yeah, definitely. Don't give people unrealistic expectations because that makes people frustrated or burned out with your company as well.
Yep.
Yep.
I agree with
like,
you, brother.
Like taking 15 years to show anything after the show off of the next Elder Scrolls game.
I was going to bring that up. I was literally about to say that. Well, don't worry. It'll be on the next decade, probably.
Yeah. It'll be out sometime 10 years after GTA.
Yeah,
so maybe never.
I didn't know when we were ever going to get that either, but I'm happy they just didn't talk about it until the year before it was coming out.
Yeah, I'm hoping it's like that with Elder Scrolls as well, but
yeah, we'll see.
We'll probably get a remake of Morrowind before we get to the next Elder Scrolls game. Or Arena.
Oh my god, that'd actually be pretty fucking sweet.
Stop. No. They can let them release one new game.
I would honestly take all remakes before, I mean, after Starfield, I think they need to maybe focus, go back to the basics. Remember what you were making and how you were making it before you start making a new one. Because God, Starfield was so booty cheeks.
Yeah, if they released a new Elder Scrolls game and it was anything resembling Starfield, I would
jump off a roof.
I would lose all faith in the company.
Yeah.
I thought you liked Starfield.
God.
It's playable.
No.
It's like a whatever game.
My bad. Okay, my bad.
Yeah, it's like a perfectly whatever game. I don't think I'll ever replay it, but I wasn't completely miserable the whole time I played it. Like, it was just like a middle of the road game. But Elder Scrolls only ever puts out absolute bangers. So it's like really frustrating going back and playing that game.
I get that.
That is one thing about almost all the other Bethesda games, like especially the Elder Scrolls games, is like you can say a lot about them. They can be clunky, they can be whatever, they can have glitches or whatever, but all of them are fun.
Yeah.
It's fun to do the missions, even the repetitive stuff. It's fun to do. It feels rewarding and enjoyable to explore the world. Starfield did not capture that. I was bored. I was bored so fast into the game. It's just like I didn't feel like it was very fun or interesting to do most of the gameplay loops that are so good about Elder Scrolls games.
Well, it gets annoying going to the same space station for 25, 30 hours.
Yep.
So bad, dude. But yeah, I'm in the same boat. So I think if they do remake their games, because I heard that potentially they could have shifted like automatically to a Fallout 3 remake, which Fallout 3 and Oblivion have the exact same engine, so it literally would just be them making sure everything works out real good if they can just port it over. I think if they do remake some, because they just redid the Fallout 4 thing, they don't need to ever really touch that again. It looks amazing with the whole what is it called, like upscaling that they did for everything. And then if they focus on making sure the games that everybody universally loves, like Morrowind, Oblivion, Fallout 3. I know they don't own New Vegas, but even if they had some part in helping remake that, like if they redid all that, it could remind them why the game is, what they do right and what they don't do. Like, hey, everything we did in Starfield, people didn't like. Everything we did in all of these, like Oblivion came out, it's barely anything newer than the way it came out the first time. And everybody is like, well, it is what it is. I love it. It's a great story, great quest lines, great characters. It is what it is. It's like, that is the stuff that matters more than anything else. And then, yeah, Starfield had okay mechanics and had an okay leveling system. But it's like every other aspect of the game was fucking ass. So it's like that's literally the part that they need to work on. Like they need to make sure they're getting back to the roots with how they write characters and write quest lines. Because even Skyrim, compared to literally all of the other Bethesda games I played, it is still feels a little lazy. Like the storylines are not as interesting. The guild quests are okay, but I think the set pieces are prettier than the storyline is good. Like in Oblivion, the set pieces, there are no set pieces. Everything is just kind of the same that you would do with a lot of other quests and whatnot, but the quest lines are just so good. And it was the same thing with Fallout 3 and New Vegas. They're all kind of similar playing, but it's like the storylines are what are good. So it's like I don't give a fuck about the set pieces or anything like that. Just make something good that I want to actually listen to. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
But why don't we move on to our spoiler aspect about Sinners now?
I'm ready.
Okay, guys. Well, if you plan on watching Sinners soon and you do not want to hear anything we talk about, thank you for joining us for that shorter aspect of the podcast. Feel free to follow us on everything, and thank you for listening. So now we are going to talk about Sinners.
All right. I'm going to start by saying, you keep dancing with the devil. One day he's going to follow you home.
That was so corny.
There's not a single thing that I didn't like about the movie, to be honest. Loved it.
Yeah, it was pretty incredible. I want to say I'm a big fan of the way that it's almost in two parts as well. Where kind of like the first part is almost like a period piece. Kind of 1930s United States and Mississippi area. And then the second half of the movie is kind of like the vampire horror movie. After they really set up the characters good. They actually make you care a lot about what happens. I agree. Which a lot of horror movies do not do.
That's
a lot of horror
of
movies I'm just like...
Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say a lot of horror movies when I'm watching them, like I have no investment in the characters at all. I'm just kind of like, man, I can't believe they're going into that basement. That sucks for them. Whereas this movie, I felt invested in like pretty much all of the primary characters in some capacity, or had some amount of empathy for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was telling Jess. I was like, we're just watching a movie, and then an hour and 45 minutes in, they're like, oh yeah, by the way, there's monsters now. Like that's what they're dealing with at this point.
Yeah, you literally went to the bathroom or to get like to refill your drink or something, and then I was like, by the way, the entire movie changed. This is what's going on now.
I honestly loved that. I knew when I seen that it was a longer movie that's probably how they were gonna play it, but I genuinely did not expect. Because let's be honest, up until the vampires come to the bar, you could literally have ended the movie with them having the night out and then the night ending, and then that's a whole movie right there. And then they still have a whole nother part after it about that.
Yeah.
So who was your guys' favorite character?
Michael B. Jordan. Both of him.
Both of him.
Both
It's
of
so
him.
funny.
I don't know. I think all of them played really well. Like Haley Steinfeld. I'm not.
Yeah, Haley Steinfeld.
Yeah. I think she played her part really, really well too.
The coos.
Yeah,
Especially, yeah. Let's be honest.
That fucking surprised me so bad. I seen a TikTok earlier when it was like a girl sitting there waiting for her train. It was like just like she's in her living room, but she's looking at the clock on her. She's looking at her watch. She's like, "Oh, when is my train coming?" And then it cuts over to her looking, and then it's Haley Steinfeld. She was like, "Oh, I heard you, but then you stuck your tongue in my coos and fucked me all night." And then she like pulled out popcorn and she starts eating. And she's like, "I want all the
Yeah.
tea."
The memes and the TikToks have definitely made it. They're so funny. God.
yeah. There's been a lot of really funny ones about Remick dancing
They would have got
that I
me
really
for
like
sure.
a lot.
Dude, they
the
were
dance
breaking
circle
it down.
outside, I'd have been gone.
Yeah, I don't. The one thing about this movie is the soundtrack was incredible.
I love
Like,
bluegrass
all-
music.
Yeah, all the music was awesome. And it played really. It didn't feel like it was just there to be there. Like all of it was pretty integral to the plot. You know.
Yeah.
Which is really cool that they were able to weave it in so well. I liked the recurring theme about like the way that music transcends like barriers of time and culture and everything. I think is really cool.
Yeah.
And I liked that it was kind of a classic Southern tale in regards to like the monster wanting to steal his music. You know.
Oh yeah, that was a really interesting aspect of it. It's like he wanted him to be a part of his family because he was so talented.
Well, he also wanted him to rip open the thing so he could have his friends back.
Right.
That was one of the plots. Because that's what the whole, like, when they were doing the song and the lady was, like, narrating, she was explaining, like, sometimes music is so good that it, like, rips a tear in time. Yeah. That's why they specifically wanted Sam, I believe his name was, Sammy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What they call him, Preacher Boy?
Yeah.
When he was in there dicking down homegirl with the husband.
I don't think there was any dick involved. I think he was coozing.
Coozin is crazy. That's fucking unhinged. I also liked, well, one, my favorite character is probably the vampire, the Irish guy.
He was a close second.
Remy or whatever. But I would say I really, really liked the Asian people who were probably the most hillbilly Southern. And they were like speaking Chinese in the store, but then they go over to the bar with their homies, and they're over there talking in their Southern accents, breaking down, getting jiggy to the bluegrass.
Okay.
I'm like, this is crazy.
Yeah, I did like their characters a lot, and I liked them a lot until she let all the vampires in the damn building.
Yeah,
I was about to light up.
That was Bailey and I were very upset with that scene. I don't know what I would do in that scenario. I don't know.
Shoot.
Well, I'm saying I don't know what I would do if, my partner just got turned into a vampire and they're threatening my children at home. I think she had a reason to be a bit unhinged in that scene and do something stupid. You can't say you're going to make the best decision in that situation, but it still made me so mad.
Yeah.
Like, come on. Like, there's nothing you can do about that, but what you can do is be alive right now.
Yeah, and also, like, the sun came up, like, 15 minutes later, So you're telling me they would have enough time to run back to town and kill your children?
I would have hit her with a stool. That's all I'm saying. Because like you can see them, they're getting down outside. Nobody's going anywhere. Your kid's fine.
My thing too, like when they were in the bar and they were like, "Eat this garlic," and
That's
she was
exactly
like, "I
what I
hate
was gonna
garlic,"
say.
and it's like, "Are you fucking stupid? I'll kill you right now.
They
Eat the
should
fucking
have.
garlic."
What are you talking about? I don't like garlic.
Yeah.
Okay. We don't like vampires.
Yeah, okay. Well, yeah, I don't like everyone dying, but that's happening anyway. So
Yeah, that probably was the most annoying aspect because, like you said, the Asian person, it's like, whatever. I mean, when she had them come in, I mean, I was like, "Oh, that's dumb," but I get it. But when she was like, "Oh, I don't like garlic," and she was like putting her foot down about the garlic, and it's like, I literally hope somebody shoots her in her fucking
Bam,
face.
she'd have been dead.
Yeah, dude. I was so fucking
Yeah,
mad.
This is not a time to be picky.
yeah,
Also, poor
I understand
cornbread.
why it was. Yeah,
Well,
he didn't deserve it.
why did he go 6 miles into the woods to pee?
Why didn't you just pee right next to the door?
When times are tough,
He's
you grab
shy.
a glass bottle. You're in a bar. There's probably already piss on the floor.
If there was only 10
he didn't
people
know
there.
that there was.
Yeah.
He didn't know there was vampires. He didn't know.
Read the room,
Give him-
cornbread. Read the room.
But my
Give Cornbread a break. He didn't read the movie breakdown before he went.
My
Before
biggest
he
thing,
went into the
though,
woods.
is like, you're there, one, with all of your childhood friends. So, obviously, you don't need to pull your hog out in front of them.
Crazy.
But you should be comfortable enough to pee right next to the door. You know what I mean? Like, he didn't need to pee with his fucking dick facing the bar. But, like, literally just go
That's
right
bad for
around the corner
business.
of the door, like, right next to where, what's his name? Who was the skinny singer, the piano player? What was his name again? Like, Two Fingers? Something Two Fingers, maybe?
Crazy. Elden Ring.
Oh, my God.
Wasn't it something slim?
Slim.
Something-
Something slim. He was already watching the door, so it's like you literally could just be right next to him right there. It's like you could have
Yeah.
just peed. So I thought that was interesting that they just offed him like that. I was like, my bro is not gonna make it. And then everybody just like leaves. And didn't the Asian guy come back and he didn't get murdered the first time, but then he still went back to the car for them to leave after?
No, he was part of the big group that was fleeing because she had
Oh.
him to go like start the car and pull it up for her,
Okay,
and then they
okay.
got him while he was doing that. I believe.
And they didn't know what was happening at that point
okay.
Yeah.
because someone had just got shot and they were clearing the bar out because all they knew was there was a gunshot and then they were like, "Get out of here," and they were all emotional. That was all they knew at that point.
Yeah.
And there was some white folks singing some weird ass music outside.
And
That's all it would
also-
take for me. I'd go home.
Yeah. Also, when Cornbread was trying to get the money from him, and he had his short hand just like against his chest, held it out. I'd have chucked the money at his face.
Yeah.
I'm not handing, like, I'm stretching my hand out the door,
Yeah.
knowing what's going on. I would have thrown the money at him and been like, bye.
Michael B. Jordan
Yeah.
left that building like way too many fucking times. Even after he knew what was going on, he still went outside like 4 more times before the vampires came inside.
Well, Cornbread pulled him out in order to, he was trying to bite him.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I was just like, Jesus, dude.
I
Oh,
forgive him because that scene was awesome when he tried to bite him and he shoots him in the face.
yeah,
Oh,
that was
yeah.
pretty cool.
That was pretty slick. I like that part.
I think who I feel bad for the most so in that was when the Haley lady went outside to just go see what their deal was, and then they just murdered her. Like, she was the first one to
Okay.
go because they asked her to go see what the vibe was. Like, I just, like, that's such a shitty way to go.
Okay, I'm gonna disagree because if I walk up and there's 3 people sitting after you already denied them entry and they're singing something about Lassie, no, I'm turning around.
Mm-hmm.
You can have that rock that you're chilling on. I'm gonna go.
Oh, wait, no, remember they were going to invite him back inside.
Not me.
Yeah.
Were they singing that's when they were singing the Pick Poor Robin Clean, right?
Maybe.
I
It
thought
wasn't
that-
when he was dancing. It was just when it was 3.
I think the Pick Poor Robin Queen one was at the door when they were like, "Oh, we sing," and then when she walked up to him, they were singing the slower.
Yeah, it was something about Lassie on the
Yeah.
hill, the pasture.
Yeah.
Yeah,
in the
you're right.
pasture.
You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also love that Stack was vibing when they were singing at the door. He was the only one
He
that was
loved it.
bobbing and like, "Ooh,
Oh,
this
yeah.
is kind of good."
Yeah, no, for real. That really cracked me up. You know, I thought it was very interesting that they weren't trying to let the Irish guy in. Because it wasn't like he was just like a white American. He was like clearly Irish. And it's like, this is at a time when Ireland is literally fighting against Britain for what is it called? Independence, because Irish people are treated as, second-class citizens. So I found it very interesting that the two smartest people in the movie couldn't somehow relate to somebody who's literally not American at all. They were just like, no, you can't come in here because, I got the reasoning. We were talking about after. He was like, what if somebody steps on your shoe and then somebody comes and shoots up my bar? But I thought it was very interesting to me that, like, the clearly non-American guy couldn't come into the bar because of, I guess, his skin color. I thought that was a very interesting aspect
I
of
think
that.
that he, I'm trying to think how I want to word this exactly.
I know, that's how I was trying to word it, too.
I think that aspect is, it doesn't matter that he was Irish if a white person said that this group of black people in the 1930s Jim Crow South was doing something he didn't like. I think they're right.
I agree.
I think any excuse for them to roll up and do a bunch of racism is going to be a good enough excuse for people. And I think they know that. And also, I feel like the fact that he is Irish is kind of integral to, like, the assimilation part of what the vampire does.
Oh, because
like,
Britain
he
tried
literally
to assimilate them?
Well, I mean, his whole character, like the vampire, like, he is assimilating people, like, he into his vampire cult or whatever, like his hive of vampires, because, like, even when he assimilates the woman's husband and now he can speak Chinese.
Yeah.
Like, I think that is a pretty direct metaphor for, like, them assimilating cultures. And, he's also forcing his vampirism on people, even though he's like, oh, I know what it's like to be subjugated. Or what they did to us when they came with when they're talking in the water about, like, yeah, they taught us religion too before they subjugated us, basically.
Yeah.
But he still goes out, even though that's true, and he forces his vampirism and his culture on all of these people the same way what he's complaining about happened to him.
Yeah. Yeah,
so, like, I feel
that's
like,
what I mean. I thought it was very interesting that they would double back on that when it's like, you would think that, well, like you said, I mean, I guess it being in the South is kind of like why they had the reasoning of what they were doing. But it just seems so interesting that, like, back then, oppressed peoples were still against other oppressed peoples. But like you said, I think the Jim Crow South is probably the 99% of why they weren't allowed in there. I do understand that at that point. I was just thinking that, like, clearly the two brothers are educated, smart. Like, literally, they're, like, the most intelligent people in, like, that town. And they couldn't somehow be like, oh, yeah, this is also somebody who's going through what we're going through. Because literally, in Ireland, they were literally going through what black Americans were going through in America, in their country as well. So I thought that was really interesting, because I would have been like, I would have let him in here. Irish people can get down.
I think that despite the similarity, I think that in the current situation they were in, I think that it doesn't matter if he was a lower social class than a regular white person in the South. He was still a high enough social class just based on his whiteness that he could cause huge problems for their business and for all their friends that were in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I
And, the other two people weren't Irish. They were
true.
just some country bumpkins. And, they did have a read on them. They were literally KKK members.
Yeah, true.
Before they were assimilated into the vampire cult.
That was actually a really badass ending too. I didn't even know that they were ever going to come back. I know he had, like, brought it up, but I was like, interesting that they still showed him with, like, his, like, Western style shoot off with the KKK members. I thought that was awesome. Crazy. And then he got to be reunited with his family too, so it's actually a pretty good ending for him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, definitely. I liked that part a lot. That was one of the more it felt good to watch that part.
I agree.
He definitely deserved to blast all of them. Like, they got their just desserts, because it's like those people were definitely villains, but they didn't really get much of the show because of the vampirism or whatever. So they brought it back, which is nice, because it's like, awesome. I was thinking when they sold him that bar, and it's like, there ain't no KKK or whatever, and I'm thinking, like, before I saw the movie, I was like, that guy is definitely gonna come back and cause problems.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I just didn't expect it to be so late, or I kind of just figured maybe they weren't gonna re-tackle it, but it was like, because let's be honest, dead KKK members. Amazing. We were talking
Recording.
about the Native Americans, how they just like popped up and then they're like, all right, bye, we're out.
Yeah, well, because they tried to help, but she like blatantly still had the gun on him and was like, "You're not coming in." But he's like, "I mean, the person that you may or may not have let in is like dangerous, and we were hunting him." And then she denied it, and he was like, "All right, well, we're gonna go. So like, I'm not gonna sit here and argue with you."
Yeah, I mean,
And then that was kind of like the
she-
downfall of like that's how everything started.
yeah, how literally their baby got eaten by a vampire.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Because there was a baby in that house.
Yeah, I
There
missed that
was.
part. I heard that that's what they were
Yeah.
singing about.
Oh.
The pick poor Robin Queen thing. I heard that was about them eating that baby.
That's crazy.
That's speculation from TikTok, but I don't know.
I don't know, but like you guys were saying earlier, when they were dancing in the circle and he was breaking down to like the Irish hymns, I would have just went out there.
Oh, I'd have
like,
been
I
done.
need to be a part of that. Like that, it was literally jumping more than it was in the bar.
They were cutting up.
He
I'd
was
have been
killing
out there
it.
for sure.
He was cutting the rug up. And I seen a TikTok and it was like when you're inside in the bar trying to figure out how to kill the vampires. And he was like, what the fuck are they doing out there? He looks out the window and it's just him multiplied doing the Dougie. It's just like all the vampires are outside hitting the Dougie. It's like, it's so funny.
Right.
Literally, it honestly might be one of the better movies I've seen in a while. It's such a good movie. Every aspect of the I think the music being so good, because I'm a big fan of bluegrass music. I think the music being so good helps it in... Oh, he can't hear it. Oh, wait, no, that's my old one. You can hear me, right, Hunter?
Yeah.
Okay, I just got your text. I think the point that the music was just so good on top of a great story with, and I liked all of the actors. There are a lot of the actors in the movie that I've seen in a bunch of stuff, and I've just like every aspect of the movie was so good to me. I really liked it, and I liked at the very end in the '90s how his uncle came back, or his cousin came back to like see him, and he was like, you know, I could put you out of this, and then he was like, oh, I wouldn't mind coming back. Like I just thought that was so cool. Even though you know he's been murdering people for 60 years at this point.
Mm-hmm. I saw some like speculation about how like in the beginning Sammy wore like a hat that kind of matched Stax,
Okay.
and then as he got older he started dressing more like Smoke. I don't know what the hat is called specifically, but he's like
Was Smoke the one that stayed alive?
yeah.
I mean, was
Yeah.
still a vampire?
No, that's Stax.
Oh, okay.
I don't know, I just thought that was cool.
My favorite line in the whole movie was still when he's like, Sammy!
Yeah.
That made me laugh really hard. That one really got me. Now I have a question for you that I specifically did not ask before the podcast for both of you. Did you see the end credit scenes?
Yeah.
We did not see the second one because they were pushing us out of the theater. We did see the first one.
Gotcha.
We saw the one where he came, was that the one where they came to talk to him in like the 90s?
Yeah, that might have been the first after credits.
Yeah, the second one
Yeah.
was just him singing, right?
Did we see both of them then?
I watched the second one where he's Sammy singing in the church by himself.
Oh, yeah, we didn't see that one.
I
Yeah,
watched-
Little Light of Mine.
Yeah, I watched that one separately because I heard that there was two.
Yeah, we seen the first one, and then, like, literally, all of the workers were just standing, like, ready to start cleaning. It's like, all right, well, I guess clearly it must be done. But no, yeah, I did not see the church one.
Yeah. Well, I think the more important one was when they came to visit him in the 90s
Yeah.
and they offer him immortality again and he refuses.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to do it as an old
But,
person.
yeah,
that would
no.
suck.
He could play the blues forever.
Yeah, but I feel like there's not a lot of people with gigantic gashes on their faces. Like they're gonna know he's famous. Like they're gonna like how do you even hide? You know what I mean? Like I don't understand that aspect. Is like you would have to be kind of generic looking to be able to hide and nobody ever notice, I guess. But then
You
again,
know,
I guess
it was-
America's massive.
And it was the 90s, so like, what is it called? FX makeup was starting
Oh
to be a
yeah,
thing.
true. I don't know. I guess Edward Cullen's family did it for over 100 years. So
It is interesting that I feel like I was not expecting them to be talking about like that was the best night of our lives before everything went down. But I thought that
Yeah.
was interesting.
Yeah.
that was kind of crazy. Maybe it's because it was like Especially for like for Sammy, and then for maybe so him and his girl can be together forever, Stack or whatever. But like for Sam, I mean, I guess it makes sense because it's like that was like his first time of like coming of age. Like he did so much stuff for the first time, and I guess probably his family dying in front of him is probably a first too. So I don't know. It blows my mind. I bet you in retrospect, it's never as absolutely horrifying as it is when you're going through it. Because you're thinking of the memory of it and not actually of like the reality of what the situation was as it was going on.
Yeah, I think they were mostly talking like that was probably one of his major first performances too, or it was his first major performance in front of like over 100 people or however many people were there.
Oh, he was performing in that back room with Homegirl for sure.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's true.
If you guys had to rate the movie, what would you guys rate it?
I would give it a solid 9.
Same.
Yep, I would say so too. I
think.
No, I really, really liked it. Maybe. Okay, 9. Yeah, I'm good with 9.
Yeah, I really liked it a lot. I think it was one of the best done horror movies in a long time, where like it was a genuinely interesting plot. It wasn't just about the monsters, but the monsters were still interesting and cool.
Yeah.
I think that kind of what Juan was saying earlier too. Like I feel like they could have just finished the movie without any vampires, and I would have still liked it.
I agree.
Absolutely.
Like they could have just rounded it all out and however they wanted the story to end, and I probably would have still liked it because it's just like all the characters were very likable and memorable. Even the bad characters were likable. I don't know. It was just a very, very fun movie, and it felt like a different take on From Dusk Till Dawn, which is a movie I like a lot too. So I thought that was a cool aspect of that as well.
Yeah, I think also vampires are just kind of corny to do if you're not doing a science fiction movie or a science fantasy movie. Like, I just feel like vampires are so hard to do right. And it's like, they're literally just normal people. Their eyes glow, and then they kill people. Like, you wouldn't be able to tell except for the fact of when they're murdering people, when they're covered in blood. Because they look like perfectly normal people before they started murdering everybody.
Well, they could also fly.
I thought he just jumped really far.
That part was a little cringy to me, because there was no wings, but he just kind of like lifted up into the sky.
I was going to say, I didn't really take it as him flying as much as him jumping really high, because obviously they have superhuman strength, right? Because they're not human.
Started in the scene where she turns around to walk away, he floats up in the air.
Oh, okay.
Like he straight up floats. And then when he's getting chased by the Native Americans on his way to the house of the two people that he ends up turning to vampires, the first two people, when he like falls like he was flying and hits the ground. When he first comes into that scene. Yeah, and also like his talons like grow out when he's in the water and scratches his face up.
Yeah, I forgot about that. That was cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. That was very. Yeah, I thought I do really like the that they played on the rules that you get with the vampires, like we were talking about.
Yeah.
Like, I don't like when they're just straight up OP. I think it's cool. I like they're bad against garlic. They have to be invited into the home and everything. It makes for some very cool things that you can do in the context of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
I think also too. I know it seems weird. Like when you add all these rules, it kind of can make it seem corny. I don't know. It made it almost seem more genuine, which I think the perfect thing to do for an enemy, a monster, or anything is the more genuine it seems, the more realistic it seems in an aspect like that. I'm almost like the more you kind of want to watch it, like the more interested in you are in it. I think set rules can be done very poorly, but in this instance, they were done so good. Like it just made me so much more interested in the fact that they're literally just outside with their dead family members and friends, staring at them, and it's like they can't get us if we don't invite them in. Like that was so cool to me.
Yeah, I thought that the aspect of them all being happy about it after it happened was very haunting too. Like they're so desperate not to get bit and turn into vampires, but then as soon as it happens, they're like overjoyed, and they want to invite their family and friends to it.
Yeah, almost like a plague. So cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I loved it. It was so badass.
Yeah, I would definitely highly recommend seeing the movie if you stuck around and heard all of us talking about it, and hadn't seen it yet. And if you have seen it, we would love to hear what your rating would be for the movie as well. What you liked, what you didn't like.
Yeah. Yep, I absolutely agree with that.
Yeah.
Do you guys have any other final points to talk about with the movie?
No, I think we covered most of it.
My last comment will just be that everyone in the cast was incredible.
I agree.
Like
100%.
I really bought into it. Like my suspension of disbelief was complete. Like I felt like I was there. You know, like it was nobody like broke character in a way. Nobody felt like they were really forcing their character. Everyone felt like exactly who they were.
Yeah.
I agree.
You know, and I thought that was awesome.
Yeah, that's exactly my thing is like, I think the movie would have been good. Like the way that they went about it was really good. But I think the fact that every single actor was just so good in their role makes it just that's what takes it to a 9 for me. It's just like so amazing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, all right, guys. If you guys stuck around, we really do appreciate it. Definitely let us know what you thought about it. If you've seen it, if you didn't see it and you just wanted to get our opinions on it, definitely go and see it and let us know what you think about it. We want to hear about it, and we'll definitely be talking about questions, obviously in a capacity where we're still not spoiling it for anybody, but like if you guys talk about it, we'll definitely talk about it with you. And we really do appreciate you guys sticking around with us and listening to another episode. You guys have any final comments?
Oh no.
We appreciate you guys listening, and peace out. Have a good one.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.